This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association, your source for the latest Iowa ag news headlines right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, Mark Magnuson, and Andy Peterson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Mark.
Hello and welcome into Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Mark Magnuson. Today is Thursday, March 13th, 2025, and we're so glad you can join us for today's show. In today's episode, I will be joined for our closing markets by Cory Bratland of agmarket.net. But first, it is time for my conversation with Cindy Hicks as I learn more about the Iowa State Seed Science Center.
Mark Magnuson for the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, and I'm joined today by Cindy Hicks. She is with the Iowa State University Seed Science Center. She works as a communications director with the center. And Cindy, here today, we are at the Agribusiness Showcase in Altoona, and you have a booth set up and you're letting people know all about what you do. Could you tell us about the Seed Science Center and why it's so important?
Well, the Seed Science Center at Iowa State University got its start to seed testing in 1890, so we're celebrating 135 years this year, 130 years, long time. We've been there for a while. We are considered one of the most comprehensive seed testing labs in the world due to the variety of seeds that we test, over 350 different species for over 650 different pathogens. There's really nothing we won't test, and if there's not a test for it, we will come up with one.
So, Cindy, what would be an example of someone sending in something to be tested and for you guys to get to the bottom of something? What would be your end goal there at the Seed Science Center?
Well, a lot of times it can be for export. And so the National Seed Health System, the USDA government program, is housed in our building, and they oversee certifying labs in order to do testing that needs to be done for exports. And that really safeguards several $1 billion worth of exports a year, and we know that exports are very important to Iowa farmers, and so that's a big deal to us.
And I know you do some unique testing as well, don't you, at the lab? You were telling me about a special bacteria that your lab has the ability to look at and to diagnose and figure things out about. Could you tell me more a little bit about that, please? So
it's really an emerging problem here recently, especially in the EU. It is rampant, I think, in the Netherlands right now. It's a bacterium called CFF. Now, I can't pronounce what CFF stands for, but we do testing for it. We are one of the few labs that do test for it, and this is mainly for export, and so we have a very quick turnaround for that, and if people need that service, we are very happy to provide it.
And then, Cindy, I know you have some free webinars coming up here in the near future. Could you tell us a little bit about those, please?
Yeah, so coming up in April, we have the Seed Business Management webinar series. You can find information about that on seedgrad.iastate.edu. And basically, we will have a seed professional or a professor once a week give a 1-hour seminar online via Zoom, and it's completely free and open to anyone in the world who would like to watch it. We are also gearing up this spring for our annual workshop. So we have the AOSA Purity Testing short course, which is May 5th through the 8th. And you can also take the exam during that time to become certified. We have the AOSA Germination Testing short course, which is April 29th through May 1st. And you can find information about both of those on seeds.iastate.edu. Those are on campus. Later in the year, we will have seed conditioning workshops, also a seed health testing short course in the fall, and seed science and technology short course in the fall as well. We will have a Seed Science and Technology free webinar series in November. So if you do the Seed Business Management webinar series in April, you'll want to watch out for the sister to it in November.
She is Cindy Hicks with the Iowa State University Seed Science Center. Cindy, is there anything else you'd like to let our Iowa viewers and listeners know about when it comes to the center and any of the work that you've been doing at the center, or just anything you're excited about?
Well, we do have our graduate program in seed technology and business. It's the only program in the world of its type that combines the two different fields, seed business and seed technology. It can be taken online from anywhere in the world, and no matter where you are, you get in-state tuition. So that can be helpful to seed businesses in Iowa who would like to do some professional development with their employees, or seed businesses in California, or seed businesses in Ghana, wherever you are. So you can get information about that on our website as well.
Cindy Hicks, Iowa State University, thanks so much for taking the time to speak with me here today, and have a great rest of the Agribusiness Showcase here in Altoona. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you to Cindy Hicks of the Iowa State University Seed Science Center for joining today's show. Up next, it is the closing markets with Cory Bratland of agmarket.net. But first, a word from our sponsor, the Iowa Soybean Association and the Soybean Checkoff.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
You're watching Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, and I'm joined now by Cory Bratland of agmarket.net. Cory, after a down day yesterday, how did the markets respond today?
Hey, Mark, we had a little rebound here today. Export sales come out this morning, looked real good. Corn was at the upper end of the range, a solid, just a shade under 1 million metric ton. Wheat numbers were real strong at above the high end, and so were the soybean numbers. Soybean export sales were, I think it was around 700,000 metric tons. So that's very encouraging in the light of South America, especially Brazil, being 65-70% harvested. So for them to the U.S. to continue to sell some beans in here is definitely helpful. Also, I think we had a little bit of fun sell off there yesterday. We had the new tariffs get slapped on the U.S. on some agricultural products such as soybean products and corn products, not the raw materials, but that kind of put a sour taste in the market yesterday. Kind of run some stops, technically speaking, and now today we didn't have that negative news. It was a different day, so the market started to rebound. I think that shows you that if we don't have any major tariff news, this market wants to just kind of grind sideways to maybe a little bit higher.
And Cory, with that example for the tariffs yesterday, when it comes to the EU and the reciprocal tariffs on some of those ag products, that kind of perfectly encapsulates, doesn't it, what we're talking about when it comes to the trade back and forth. When tariffs go on to another country, they might come back with those ag tariffs because they know that's where they can hit us in the pocketbook, right?
Yeah, they do. I mean, that seems to be our sweet spot, not our sweet spot, but everybody's sweet spot. They like to hit the U.S. and go right after our goods. We produce, the best products out there in the world, and it's an easy target for us. Now, when we see, our administration will kind of go back at these other countries. Like I saw there was a tariff on, I think Europe put a tariff on American whiskey, for example. President Trump come back and said that he was going to, if they're not removed immediately, we're going to see tariffs on European wines and champagnes and etc. So it's this reciprocal back and forth. It's definitely trying to stay ahead of it. It's going to be a full-time job, and where no one's going to stay ahead of it. It's going to create a lot and keep a lot of volatility in this market. So it's definitely keep up on your headlines here in the near term.
On the other side of the ag marketplace, what was the trade like for the cattle and hogs today?
Cattle were higher earlier today. I was trying to hear maybe some stronger cash trade. I didn't hear any significant cash trade. So they ended up the day a little bit higher on the front few months on the live cattle, but well off their highs. I am hearing, there's a lot of recession talk that might be driving the cash price, down a little bit. The packers are not making any money right now. So I think, this market might be starting to stall out a little bit. Feeder cattle, we're up a couple bucks there early in the day. What I've been hearing is the sale barns, at least in our area, and then in the South Dakota here, are just blistering hot. Guys, it's a great selling opportunity right now for guys with their calves heading to town. They ended up after being a couple bucks higher, lower on the day. So that market might be starting to get a little bit long in the tooth here and maybe start to pull back. Hog market's under a lot of pressure there. There's There's some talk that China might be in talking of adding some tariffs to U.S. Pork and possibly even beef. Now, there were some rumors yesterday. Haven't heard anything yet, so we're just kind of patiently waiting to see if those are true rumors or if that's just what they are, just rumors.
Cory Bratland, agmarket.net, our guest here today. Cory, what's the best way for our viewers to get in touch for more marketing information?
Yeah, you can just head on over to our website, which is agmarket.net.
Thanks so much for the time here today. Always appreciate it, and we'll talk again soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you to Cory Bratland of agmarket.net for joining today's show. Let's take a look at how the markets closed today. And you can find market information anytime under the Markets tab of our website at iowaagnet.com.
May corn closes up 4.5 at 465 1/4. May soybeans up 10 1/4 at 10.10 3/4. May soybean meal up 6.90 at 307.10. May soybean oil down 40 cents at 41.28. Chicago wheat up 8.5 at 562 1/2. Minneapolis wheat up 9 1/4 at 603 3/4. Kansas City hard red wheat up 14 1/2 at 587 1/2. May oats up 2 1/4 at 370 1/2. On the Merc, April live cattle up 65 cents at 202.05. March feeder cattle down 2 cents at 280.22. April lean hogs down 87 cents at 85.62. April pork cutout down 2.30 at 94.50. Class 3 milk down a penny at 18.57.
That does it for closing markets today, and that brings us to the end of today's show. You can find all of our content on our website at iowaagnet.com. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click on the notification icon as well to let you know whenever there's any new videos available to view. You can follow us on social media at Facebook, X, TikTok, and LinkedIn. And don't forget our free morning, midday, and closing market podcast that you can listen to wherever you find your favorite podcast at Apple, Amazon, Spotify, and Podbean. And you can also check out our daily Iowa Ag Matters podcast. From the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network studios in Des Moines, I'm Mark Magnuson. For Riley Smith, Dustin Huffman, and Andy Peterson, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.